right. I think we are good. All right. Welcome back. Um, I wanted to do a stream today because the last time on my first stream, I got some feedback that I really didn't introduce what I was doing or talk to you about the game that I was playing, and that might have helped. That some of you actually had a little bit of interest, but just didn't kind of really know what was happening, and so I thought it would be great to play the same game, Phasmophobia, and I'm going to play it on the easiest level. Kind of do a quick run through so you can see how the game is played in case you have any interest in it. For what it's worth, it is a four-player cooperative game, and so you can play this with your friends. I think it's awesome to play with other people as well. So yeah, let's do that today. Let's do a quick run through. I'm going to kind of keep it basic, and hopefully you'll get to see the fun of it. Let me go ahead and switch what we're doing here. So when you load in, this is kind of our base, if you would. Don't be overwhelmed with all this stuff. You'll learn about it later if you play the game. But you have this board, and you determine the difficulty you play on. Again, we're going to lower this, and then this is the equipment that you bring in. I'm going to bring in the basic equipment, so that way we just talk about the basics. And then we're going to pick a map. Once again, we're going to pick that same map, Tanglewood Drive, just so that way you're already familiar with it, you kind of know what's going on. And just a quick rundown. So the idea here is we're not hunting ghosts, per se. We're almost trying to figure out a puzzle. There's evidence in this house or this building or this whatever that we want to collect the evidence, and based on that evidence, we want to determine which ghost it is. So the point of the game is actually to guess the correct ghost. It's not to hunt them or capture them or anything. So again, you can see on the screen here, we have these 8 different pieces of equipment that we're going to use in hopes to figure out what the ghost is. Again, there's different levels of these, and they can look different, but for the most part, these are the basics that we'll use. And one interesting thing is that these are all the ghosts, first of all, that we can find. Okay. Every one of these has a unique set of these 8 objects. Excuse me, actually, there's not 8, because there's 8 including a flashlight. There's 7 pieces of evidence. And so there's combinations of 3 of these evidences equal something over here. So for example, if we had ultraviolet, notice how I click it and I automatically get rid of some ghosts. That's one of the cool, I love it. I love when you click something and it eliminates some things. And the idea is you keep gaining evidence, you keep eliminating things, and finally when you come up with the right piece of evidence, like this one, oh, cool, I have this ghost. It's singled it out. See how it's only highlighted? And that's what we're doing. So I had a buddy who kind of said it's kind of like a guess who of which ghost is it, right? And that's exactly what it is. So again, we're going to use these objects to try to figure out which ghosts we have. So let's get started. Okay, so this is kind of a hub. It's a truck that you start in, and it gives you a map of the home. We looked at it previously. Only thing I would say is significant about this to know is that this little symbol right here, the green thing with the little lightning bolt, that's the breaker to the house. The ghost can turn off the breaker at any point, and you need to know where that is to be able to turn it back on and keep functioning. Other than that, I would say all this other stuff really isn't that big a deal to know right now, other than your sanity is the key to this game and when you can get hunted by a ghost. Because if the sanity goes down, let's say to the 50s for most ghosts, that's when the ghost will chase you and haunt you. So the loop in this game, or how it gets you, is you go into the house knowing you have a certain amount of time to get this evidence and get out. And usually you come up right on the edge of that timing where you're getting nervous. You're like, oh man, I gotta go. So we'll see how we do today. These are little side quests that you can do if you want to do these. You don't have to be successful. They earn you extra money. For example, if you detect a paranormal sound with a parabolic microphone, or use an incense and so forth. Then right here you have daily and weekly tasks that you can get into if you want. Okay, so here's our equipment. I like to use the temperature gauge and this EMF reader and these probably this camera to start off with. Everybody kind of gets accustomed to different pieces of equipment, but you know, you'll find the one that you like. And this is like a little station that somebody could sit here and watch the video cameras in the house from here. We could talk about that another time, but it's kind of a cool thing to think you can set up some cameras and then watch it from here. Okay, so we're going to hop in. Other thing to know is that your sanity doesn't change at all until you open the front door. Once you open the front door, all the timers are on, everything starts to go, and you got to go. So, okay. So we're going to get in, we're going to turn lights on. Well, that's another key thing. You want to stay in the light as much as possible because that drains your sanity the least. If you're in the dark, your sanity drains faster, thus you'll be hunted quicker. So I'm going to use this thermometer to try to find a cold room as fast as I can. And I'm going to go left when we enter, so let's just get going. And also we're going to listen for clues. Like I thought I heard something over there already. Hold on. Oh, there's a pillow right here. Oh, did that come from this room? See, I'm watching this thermometer. It's at 20 right now. It needs to get down to like 10 to 5. It's starting to creep down a little bit there. Oh, look at it. It's still creeping down. This might be the room. I'm going to leave this here for just a second. This camera, oh, we have something called ghost orbs here. So this is definitely the room. I'm going to put the camera down. So let's go mark off that we have ghost orbs. That's the first piece of evidence. And you can see now it's eliminated some ghosts. Ghost orbs are a thing that you can only see on a camera. Notice you can't see them here. You have to turn on night vision. And then you'll see these little floaties. See, there's one right there. Oh. I'm going to try to get this piece of evidence. The door moved. But you'll see these little floaties, and those little white dots that are floating are your ghost orbs. So, we have that. So we have ghost orbs first. So we have temps. Temps are... they're low, but they're not as low as I'd like them to be. Let's see if we get any EMF readings. Usually you want to do this by any items that the ghost has moved, or anything that they've done. But it's a little bit late for the pillow. That was a while ago. So those orbs that we saw definitely mean this is the room that we need to be looking in. So we can leave this here for now. And, okay, let's go get some more stuff. So there is an internal timer here. On the very easiest level, that just means the ghost can't hunt you at least that time limit right there. So when you first start playing, if you want to be super safe, just make sure you get out of the house before that timer's up and you can't die ever. So, alright. So now we're going to go back in. We're going to try to look for some stuff here. You get a little bit of a dash move, so I'm dashing right now to save time. Okay, this is ghost writing. We're going to put this out in hopes that the ghost will write in that book. Oh. We're going to use this in hopes to find some ultraviolet evidence. Oh, hold on. See how it's peaking? Because that just got thrown. Okay. So this is EMF evidence, but it's not enough to mean it's a ghost. The EMF would have to go up to a 5 to mean that the ghost is... to help us identify the ghost. Let's come back here. Let's make sure that we still see our orbs. Yep, see that little white thing that was blinking there? There, yep, there's one other one. Okay. Definitely still here. Temperature still going down. Alright. Waiting to see if ghost writing happens. Not sure if we'll get any UV on this painting or this pillow. Oh, we have this spirit box that we're going to try, but you have to try it in the dark. So, I'm asking it questions.
An elderly victim.
Oh, I asked how old it was, and it said an elderly victim. Okay. So let's turn this light back on. So now we can mark off spirit box. Very cool. You can again see that we are eliminating more and more. All right, there's one more piece of evidence that we need to get. Let me run out and do that. This little thing right here. Now I'll grab the flashlight just to grab it. This isn't really necessary. It's just nice to have in case the lights go out. Then you'll have some light to show you the way. So I'll put the flashlight on the ground in here. Okay. So these green dots are a thing. Whoa, look at it. Look. That was creepy. Okay, she's definitely here. Let me see if I can put it like here, maybe? Okay. What else can I do here? Okay, temperature's still going down. You can see my cold breath. Definitely means we're in the right room. I feel like there's probably a better area for these green dots, but it's fine for now. So if this gets to 0, we have freezing temperatures, which is another one here. And that would give us an idea of who our ghost is. I need to get UV possibly as well. So we're missing one more piece of evidence. And I don't really have a way to get UV unless it taps on a window, or if it turns off a light like it did. Let's turn that one on. These green dots. I know, let's do this. Let's turn it like this. There we go, that's pretty good coverage. Uh-oh, we're getting there. Look how close we are to 0. If I can just get that down past 0, or right above 0, we're going to be good. Still loving the fact that I can interact with so much. See this remote? So cool. So cool. Alright. Still not freezing. Okay, what else can we get here? Ultraviolet dots, EMF. Oh. Did you see that? That was it. There it is. Look. Ah, the green dots are showing me the ghost. Okay. So we have green dots. So we know we have a yokai, y'all. Let me just see if I can back these green dots up a little bit. I hope you guys got to see that. I love when the green dots pop up. It like, I don't know, it gets me excited. I'm like, oh my god. Let me turn this off. And we'll sit here for a sec. The ghosts can have all sorts of different forms. It can be walking, like we saw her earlier. She's just a stand-up ghost, like she's just standing up. But she could be bent over, she could be crawling. It gets kind of creepy sometimes. They could be like little kid ghosts, so those are always creepy. Let's just see though if we get lucky. Let's get a good view of this ghost. Now remember, we know the ghost, right? So we can just leave, and we will. We will just leave. But I'm hoping that we can get a view of the ghost. Just so you guys can check it out. Again, that's just my cold breath. So when I first started playing this, I was always thinking like that right there. I would think that was the ghost, but it was actually my cold breath making the dots show up. So yeah, that is not the ghost right there, just so you know. The ghost will be a silhouette of a person. You will know for sure. Come on, ghosty. Now, it is a little creepy, obviously, to have a dark room, to have a ghost crawling around, but, you know, you play so long, you kind of know an inside timer in your head of how long you have. So, I'm not too stressed out about the ghost coming to get us. Oh, oh. See that? That's a little ghost ball. The ghost sends it to you to kind of scare you. That was cool. Whoa. You hear that? Oh my god, that's a new audio. That's scary. That's super creepy. Well, I was really hoping to give you guys a good view of a ghost, but might not get it in this run. Let's give it like 30 more seconds. You can see how patient you have to be. So, you know, if you're a gamer that really likes like hardcore action, quick, this can have that a little bit, but there are times where you really got to be patient. These are called dots, these green things. Sometimes they don't show up on dots for, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes it feels like, and then suddenly they're there. So you'll be missing a piece of evidence, and you're like, what's going on? I can't figure it out. And then they just pop up on the dots all of a sudden. And so, yeah, really causes you to have a lot of patience or so forth. Okay, well, I think we're good. We know what our ghost is. I think we've looked long enough for the silhouette. I'll leave that like that. This camera's like is here. Okay, we're leaving. Bye, ghosty. Oh, oh my god. It's like the ghost could hear me or something. What? Trying to scare me right there? Oh my god. Okay. Definitely some jump scares like that, and I have like goosebumps right now. Okay, so now look at this. Look at this right here. This is the perfect sanity to start getting a ghost to hunt you. So I'm actually glad we got out of there because we have nothing to protect us from the hunt. And yeah, one more time we'll review. We had the spirit box. We had, remember, they said that they were an elderly victim to me when I asked how old they were. We had those ghost orbs that were floating around. And then we saw twice the ghost crawl or come through the dots. And so that tells us we have a yokai. So we've circled yokai. In here as well, again, these other 3 objectives, we're not going to worry about them for this run. Yeah. There's your run. So let's go ahead and end it. We have to close the door. Tell them that we're leaving. All right.
I've prepared some jobs for you.
So then it gives you so much money, which kind of really means just XP for all the stuff that you did. You can see we didn't get any of the extra stuff here, which is fine. And if you really want to, when you get really good at the game, you'll take the time to get all of these done, as well as find the bone. There's a random bone placed on every map that you can find for extra money, you know, things like that. It's kind of cool. If you want to look at the statistics, it'll tell you like how many objects the ghost moved, how many doors it moved. It's just kind of cool to see all these things that are tracked. And that's it. So what I also say is that as you build up your XP and your levels, you'll see here I'm level 62. Um, as you build those levels up, you get access to better equipment. And so it's like that's the enticement to keep doing this over and over and to keep learning which ghosts are which. Because you want to have the better equipment. It makes sure obviously you're finding your evidence out easier. But you also then have this difficulty, which you'll see here. It gives you more rewards, but it starts making the game harder overall. And yeah, you just figure out what fits right for you. Again, everybody pretty much starts on amateur. There's a lot of different kind of houses. There's a diner that's really fun to play. There's a farmhouse I really enjoy. There's 2 or 3 story houses here. There's even a lighthouse, a high school. The high school and like the prison, I mean, they're gigantic. Like you have to be really good to do some of these big maps. They're huge. But that's cool. Then you have like a little workbench here that, these are kind of like achievement things you're trying to do. You're trying to beat so many maps so many times. So you can kind of have this as a visual here. And then again, these are all the different bones you can find in the house. These are all the different items that'll be around to kind of help you get the ghosts. And then these are just different things for different achievements and so forth. So, well, I think that's about it. I think that was a good run, good kind of a quick little example. Again, I really enjoy this because to me it's a puzzle that I'm trying to figure out, and I got this time limit like always ticking. And the last thing detail I'll tell you too is it's kind of neat because every ghost has one unique thing that it does, and probably every other map or every third map, if you're quick enough, you catch it and you go, oh, I know what the ghost is, and I don't even have my evidence yet. I don't even have the 3 pieces of evidence, but I know what the ghost is because it did this one thing. So that's kind of fun when that happens because you're like, hey, I'm learning this game. I remember it. But any questions for me, please send me a message. I'd be happy to 1, play this game obviously with you. 2, just answer any questions that I know. I've got about 215 hours in the game, so nothing crazy, but plenty to know what's going on. And yeah, thanks for sticking with me and kind of hearing this out. Hopefully, for some of you out there, this might, I don't know, maybe entice you to want to play a little bit. And like I said, if so, just hit me up and let me know. So, again, this is Enrique Suave. I will let you go. Thanks for joining me today. Be good. We'll see you later. I need a quicker way to end the stream, don't I?